Good morning, humanity. It's October 14th, 2019, and this is Mondays with Bev and Paul. And hello, everyone. My name's Paul.
And hello, I'm Bev.
You certainly are, Ollie.
How are you this morning?
Well, Bev, I am just fine. It's good to see
Good.
you
You
and hang
too.
out with
Thank you.
you.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's good to hang out with all of you out there too. And if you notice, Bev's a little clearer today. She's bright and bushy tailed because she has a new camera.
Oh my goodness. What? Yeah, my picture looks as clear as your picture now.
That's right. And we can see every hair on your head. And we talk about wrinkles, but we're not supposed to do that.
Yeah. I can
So,
see every hair not on your head.
oh, now that's
Oh.
really funny. Let's rub it in. I guess I can talk about wrinkles then.
Right. It's open season, Paul.
Oh, so we're going to have a great little show today. As you can see up there in the corner, we're going to talk about what is the worth of BioTouch. That always comes up. It's come up for 30 years. But first of all, we want to share with you a couple of things. First thing is we had a class, and here are the lovely ladies who were in the class. Good group of people. We have these people took the class, and the woman on the far left, Ashley, she actually said, I'm going to just quote her right here. She says, "This was the best massage CEU class I have ever taken so far." Whoa, that was an awesome statement.
That's wonderful. Well, they come in because of the reasonable that we'll talk about, and then
Yeah.
they end up going, "Oh, I am so going to use
Yep. So we
BioTouch."
have two massage therapists, her and Jennifer, the third one there. Catherine is works with a lot of children and a lot of brain. I can't remember her title. And then we have Karen over there on the far right. So it was just an awesome man. They had questions, great
Great.
questions. So it was a
Good.
great class. And in the midst of that, we have a new certified practitioner. How
We
many months have we
do.
been working with Eileen here? And there she
Yes,
is, finally. Eileen
finally.
Webster finally got certified, and she actually helped teach the class. So she's
Um,
actually on the instructor program fast track, and it is going to do some staff time at the center. So we are thrilled to have Eileen join us. She's an awesome
we
lady.
we are. Yes.
So, all right. So that was quite the weekend. And here we are today. We're going to talk about what is the worth of BioTouch. And I think we should just start with the book. Why don't you
Okay.
read that little paragraph from the book?
I
Here's
can. I'm
our
going to put on
book.
my glasses.
Yes, we do. Our book, BioTouch. We haven't read from it in a long time. BioTouch Healing with the Power in Our Fingertips by Deborah Schildhouse. And
Yes.
go for it. Read that little paragraph on page. What page is
Okay.
that?
Page 66 of our book.
Uh huh.
And Deborah says, another question. She's talking to Paul. Another question people ask is why we don't charge for our services here at the center, Paul said, leaning his elbows on the desktop and interlacing his fingers. They caution me about the value of something becoming underrated when it's simply given away. So, what's your answer? Why don't we charge? Paul smiled, his cobalt eyes glistening in their sockets. Because we can't charge people for the truth. I stared at him. Whoa, what does that mean exactly? There's one truth that resides within each of us, he answered. It is our birthright. No one can charge us to obtain the truth, it's already ours. BioTouch is like truth. Our capacity to heal is within each of us. We have a birthright to be happy and healthy. So, how can we charge for that? Over the years, I've noticed that many people seem to instinctively know BioTouch on some level. Once they start giving or receiving it, our only job is to give them the tools to reawaken what they already know. We sat in silence for a few minutes as I digested his words. So, right
So,
from the guy.
yeah,
Yeah.
the guy with the cobalt eyes.
Eyes.
Might have a bald head, but I got cobalt eyes.
Cobalt
Don't you
eye.
forget
I'm, I'm sure you won't let me.
it. So, it's interesting because in the class we actually had that discussion about what is the truth, and I think that paragraph to me sums it up, that it's uh, and in the discussion in the class we finally came to that point where you can't define the truth.
Right.
And this concept of there's your truth and my truth. I mean, those are all just different opinions based on different perceptions of facts and stuff.
Exactly.
But
Exactly.
yeah, but when you get to what we're trying to talk about here, that BioTouch is an expression of that truth that dwells within us, that
Yep.
birthright that we have. I've just always believed, how can you charge people for something they already have? I mean, that's sort of like a scam out there. And that would be like
Yeah.
charging me to rent your refrigerator, which you already bought,
Well, and it's important to remember that for all of us, that when everything else is stripped away, our whole foundation is based on the truth for us that we're just here to share and to have everybody learn this technique to use in their own lives. It's not about us making money. I
Right.
mean, if that was true, we'd be just doing all kinds of other stuff. But our premise here, our whole foundation here, is to teach this amazing technique because we recognize that it already is within each of us, as you say in the book. It's already there. It's already humanity's truth to be the healer in their own lives.
Right.
So,
And
yeah,
and that's from the beginning when I first met Norman and Carol. I mean, here they were offering their sessions strictly on a donation basis,
right,
day after day, night and day. They'd get up at 2 in the morning. They didn't have a phone. You had to show up. And when we created the organization, the 501c3 nonprofit organization 30 years ago, the goal was to continue offering those sessions without a set charge. And I'm so amazed that we have a staff of 20 people who are willing to volunteer their time, including you and myself. There's no one being paid in this organization
right,
because
right.
we're all dedicated to giving back that gift, which is already ours, to help people, sort of reopen the gift, and practice BioTouch and allow yourself to get touched without worrying about what's it going to cost me and am I going to have to go into debt, So it's
You
an
know,
amazing center.
I think what's happening with that is there's a kind of a new mindset being established about we're starting to and you and I have talked about this on other shows, but it bears repeating. There's a concept coming up about success and wealth and health, and we started saying that health is wealth because it's the basis of everything constructively that we can contribute to humanity ourselves. And this whole model that's being, I think, really created on a global scale. We're changing our concepts of what wealth is, and this is certainly part of the conversation now. So for us to be already holding that, to recognize that in that self awareness is the key to changing your whole life. And when you do that, so many other things can come in for us.
Right.
And our whole lives take on a much deeper, richer uh, gift to be shared with others. And BioTouch is foundational to this.
Right. I liked how you said richer gift. They're rich. Now all of a sudden people think of dollar bills again, and yet we're
Right.
talking about a richness that goes beyond all money, and it allows people to dig into the depth of their being, to put their own price tag on it.
Right.
For some people, it always reminds me of that poor woman who walked by the beggar and gave her last penny to the beggar, compared to the billionaire who gives $100 or $1. I
Yeah.
mean, who gave the most?
Right.
And it was sort of the same thing we're trying to allow people to find out for their own selves. what is the worth in far as helping an organization who's dedicated all their time and energy to getting this technique out freely to people, to share whatever you can to help us do it. So we run strictly on donation basis with relation to our sessions. We have a link on our website, justtouch.com, where you can donate. And, we even heal people from the IRS. It's all tax deductible.
Yeah.
So, so, we encourage people to make contributions. We know a lot of us out here have resources, and we do ask people to click on the link and make a contribution. We also have classes where our price is outrageously, and I'll even say cheap. They're not
Yeah.
cheap in relation to cheapness, built crappy and stuff. They're actually a high quality class, and I would even say probably more reasonably priced than a lot of the other healing techniques out there or all the other CE credits.
Well, we've been told that time and time again.
Time and time
anyway.
again. And
Yeah.
just a couple of weeks ago, I had this discussion with somebody of the worth of the class in the perception of people. That without the high price, then people do not perceive it as being worthwhile.
I know. It's such an old concept,
It
isn't it?
is. And this organization is trying to break that concept. We're trying to stand strong in a concept that price of something does not mean the worth of it. And in a sense, what we're trying to do is put a shock value into it. So when we do the CE classes, this price of $60 for 10 to 12 CE credits for massage therapists, for nurses, for doulas, for any other professionals that want to use those continuing education credits. It's a shock. It's like we tried to create
What?
a price where people could not come.
Right.
You had to come because you'd never seen anything so cheap in your life. I mean, you're usually spending $200 for 6 CE credits, and here we're giving you 10 to 12 for $60. So it's a shock value, and a lot of people that come in, they go, I came because it was just too cheap not to.
Right. Right. You know, this whole concept of investing, this is part of what's happening too. We're having to ask ourselves in our own lives, um, what are we willing to invest in terms of time and ourselves into something? And I can't think of anything that's more rewarding, not just for your own life, but for every single other person that you touch. Pardon the pun, but BioTouch is like the most amazing investment that you can make. It's, believe me, the return on your dollar is incredible. I mean, it's priceless, right? So, aren't we that in that what is worth BioTouch worth? Well, what's our own self-worth? That's what we're having to ask. What are we worth? Are we not worth learning this or teaching this to somebody that can help us or that we can help? This is getting us away from that almighty dollar sign always coming up for us that determines if we can get something worthy of ourselves. It just changes the whole dynamics now.
Yeah,
What are you willing to invest?
I
This is
like
what
that.
BioTouch is.
Yeah, I like that. I like that investment.
Yeah,
That's exactly what we're talking about. And
right.
everybody's always investing and planning for the future and getting a financial advisor and putting money in the bank to, get a 2% or a 0.5% interest. But yeah, the return on the investment, like you said, is beyond that. You can't put it into dollars. What
I
you've
know.
got for your family and your friends, and you know Jenny just went to visit some dear friends who, there was an operation. They're having a hard time getting out of the the hospital. The body's in the shock, and she immediately went over there and had this tool to immediately walk into the hospital, do some touching, and doing it 2 or 3 times a day, along with the caregiver, and results are being noticed. And I think by the time she leaves there in a week, the family will be stronger. An investment that you can't put a price on, and that friends can just go do it with one another. And like Ashley said in the class, she came to that class, was so skeptical, just was like, oh my God, but she had to come because it was only $60. And when she writes it was the best CE class she ever got, and she even later goes, I'm a skeptic, but BioTouch isn't energy work. It's just touch that has a positive effect backed by research. I love BioTouch. Very well done. The whole thing, it all becomes worth it with a statement like that from a young woman who's a professional.
Right.
That,
absolutely,
she can use it, and it's beyond words for me.
I know.
It's so beyond words. We're going to teach people how to do it.
There you go. That's it.
Yeah, I mean,
when all else fails, let's teach this.
That's right, because you and I could yak for hours. We're good at that. So we're going to teach you a set of points today, and it's just the simple heart set.
This set of points may be used for conditions relating to the heart, veins, blood pressure, and circulation. To perform this set, first find hold point X, which is on the breastbone, directly between where the nipples would be on a youth. Another way to find X is by measuring 1/3 of the way up the breastbone from greeting point 1. To address the well-being of the heart, hold X and with the other hand touch points 1 and 2. These points may be found by imagining a line running from the notch at the top of the breastbone to a place on the left breast where the nipple would be on a youth. Divide this diagonal line into thirds. Point 1 is at the top of the first third. Point 2 is at the top of the second third. Veins, blood pressure, and circulation may be addressed by touching point 3 in addition to points 1 and 2. Point 3 is at the soft indentation just above the collarbone, above and to the left of the notch at the top of the breastbone. It is the same as point 1 in step 1 of the metabolism set. Remember to hold each point for at least 6 to
And that, incredibly how simple that is, and what's beautiful about that photograph, that video, is it's a daughter and a father.
I know.
And it just reminds us how important this is to get into the family structure.
Yeah, that's where it all begins. Isn't that that's the whole foundation of humanity's experience?
Right.
These amazing family units that live together and learn together and everything else. And why isn't that where it begins? BioTouch is for the families.
So help us get it out to the families. Go to our website, justtouch.com or biotouchhealing.com. Click on the link to the free ebook. First 10 pages teaches you the greeting. And then if you want, you can download the whole manual just by becoming a member for only $18. And if you have any questions, contact us at the toll-free number or office@justtouch.com. It's just that simple. We also have trainings that we do live streaming, and that's always the fourth Thursday of the month, except for next month. And this month, what we're teaching is, where is it here?
Oral health.
Oral health. And class, there it is. Oh, no, that's not the one I want. Research? No. Mission? No. Where is it? Oh, there it is. I'll figure this out yet. All right. Oral health, October 24th at 6 p.m. at the BioTouch Healing Center. Also will be live streamed on Facebook, and then it will be posted on our YouTube site and our Facebook site and our Instagram site and whatever site we can get on. So look for it on any site you want. So again, we just did another show, Bev. Good job.
We did, Paul. Thank you.
I'll send you the check in the mail.
Oh, yay. Oops, we're still on.
So we want to thank you all for letting us into your home, onto your computer, on your phone. And until next week, this is Paul.
This is Bev. Have a great week, everyone.
If pain has got you down and you live in town, take a trip down to Pima Street. The people down there are people who care. They will get you back on your feet. Put love into action. Put love into action. If you ever want to have any real satisfaction. Choose